Met my kid's mom, 22, female, when she was 17. We worked together. I was 28, and we became friends. No, you didn't.
Welcome to Guys
Hello. How you doing? Where you been? Don't start fires. Welcome to another episode of Guys We.
It's the Anti-Slut-Shaming Podcast. I'm Corinne Fisher.
I'm Krystyna Hutchinson.
Welcome to the show. If you want to email us a problem or a story, it's SorryAboutLastNightShow @gmail.com.
Today's subject line. Am I a predator? We'll be the judge of that. Hey, it's a long-time listener, first-time writing. It's always the best. This is an issue I struggle with, and I feel some level of guilt and shame, and I'm not sure what to do with it. You came to the right place. Going to get for this, I'm sure, because it's weird, but from my reality, it's not that crazy unless that's how I rationalize it to help me sleep at night. 33, male. Met my kid's mom, 22, female, when she was 17. We worked together. I was 28, and we became friends. No, you didn't. I kind of saw her as a little sister. That you wanted to At the time, I was engaged. My fiance and I had just had a baby. Then a few months later, COVID came and lockdown started. During that time, my fiance lost her job and somehow started doing ketamine recreationally while I was at work. I don't know how anybody does that drug recreationally. It's so, you fall asleep.
I think when you're like bored, you want to just like zonk out, you know?
Yes. I like to party as much as the next guy. And for a while, it was fun. We had nights at home with the roommates, always a sober person at home to mind the baby.
Oh, that's good.
But eventually, it got out of hand. My youngest kid's mom, we will call her Laura, started coming over to smoke weed and chill with us as we were all coworkers and had a rapport, so it seemed pretty normal. She began to help my fiance with babysitting or cleaning around the house when she was depressed or, in my opinion, too high to be responsible. Eventually, the drugs got out of hand and the money I was giving for bills wasn't going to bills, and I got kicked out of the house for always, quote, bitching and complaining when I worked 3 jobs and came home to a trashed house, a sleeping fiance, and my young friend watching my baby. I would say that's pretty fair of you to bitch about. Fast forward, I had nowhere to go and couldn't get a place on my own as my credit was shit and Laura's family had a spare bedroom. Her mom let me stay and kept us apart, and that's perfectly fine. I didn't see her like that, but did love her. Did love that she was so good with my approximately 8-month-old child. I woke up with Laura in my bed a few times after smoking weed and falling asleep watching Netflix.
What?
Yeah, that's weird. We talked about it. Hey, this should not be a thing, and so on. And one day she kissed me. We got a little closer, and when she turned 18, she was 17. When she turned 18, we were messing around, and she got pregnant. You get all these chicks pregnant. I wasn't thrilled about it, but she was good with my other kids, so we tried for a relationship for the sake of the child. I have my own father issues, and it felt wrong to sign over my rights, but having the baby wasn't my choice, and I respect her choice. I didn't feel like a groomer. I never intentionally tried to pursue her. I never isolated her from her life. I was down on my luck and not in a good place, and someone kind came and treated me good, in quotes, or at least better than I had been treated by my own fiance. But part of me feels gross and feels like I ruined her life. You didn't ruin her life. And now we can barely talk on the phone. After 3 years, our relationship kind of ended in a similar way. She lost herself to drug use. Oh, it sucks. I became the income, the car, the punching bag, and I sustained all manner of physical and mental abuse. But at the end of the day, I feel shame and embarrassed that I fell in love with someone 11 years my junior. But it happens all the time. Do not be ashamed of it, because they were simply nice to me. That happens all the time. That's a trope, I think, that happens. So I'm not sure what your question is here. That's the entire email. But maybe you're asking us, are you a bad person because this happened?
Well, look, I think the question is that,
are you
am I a predator?
The subject.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
I mean, I think I actually don't have a problem here with the age gap. I have a problem with the way you see women in your life. So even though these women, did seem to have like some bumpy roads, it seemed like the only way you kind of describe them is that, like, you know, they're good with your kid, like the things that they're doing for you. Like, what is the relationship like? Like, do you actually relate to women, or do you just like them like based on how they treat you and like kind of like the acts of
how they are with kids?
Yeah, like how they provide for your life, like coming home to a clean house, being good with your child. That was the issue that I saw with this email, not the age gap. I mean, whatever. I mean, I didn't love it, but I don't think that's the main problem here.
Not at all. Not at all. And I think like it seems like yes, these women like the women in your life maybe weren't taking accountability and were on drugs and but where's your
why do you keep hooking up with women like, who lose themselves to drugs?
Yeah, it's like
you're
the
common denominator. Yeah,
right. So I would really do some deep diving into like what is that? Am I trying to rescue these people? And also too like Corinne said, making sure that you are into that person individually, into that specific person in front of you and not just the idea of a woman.
Yeah, because there's no way this is as black and white as the email seems, that you're dating out of control drug addicts and you're on the job toiling away from AM to PM, punching in, punching out. I'm sure there's a gray area here.
If a woman emailed us this, I mean, there'd be a little bit more words, but like if she described the situation, we'd be like, you're not taking responsibility for something. So it's your job to find out what that is because we don't know you. But
I'm guessing by the fact that these women eventually both ended up losing themselves, even if it is for a period of time, to drugs, that perhaps they kind of are attracted to women who kind of feel lost. So when you get into a relationship, they kind of really put their all into the relationship and get lost in you until that doesn't work anymore, and then they get lost in drugs. So maybe you need to look for people with more of their own developed personality outside of just how they exist in relation to you.
Yeah. Look for a woman who's not running from something.
Mm-hmm. Have a nice day.
Yeah. See ya. Thanks for writing. Thanks for calling.
Thanks so much.
Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Ooh.
Cue the crickets. No, I'm going to be at Looney Bin January 10th and 11th. I'm so excited. Looney Bin we've never performed there, have we?
Tulsa, Oklahoma, no.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Like I've heard of Looney Bin when I was first started listening to Mark Maron's podcast, like a decade ago. He always talked about the Looney Bin. I'm like, the Looney Bin, I'm going to perform there one day. Well, I am. January 10th and 11th. Do we have in or near Tulsa, Oklahoma? Then come and tell everybody it's going to be really fun. And then Toronto, January 17th and 18th, I'm going to be at Comedy Bar. Tickets for that are available at the link in my bio. It's at Krystyna Hutch.
And as I said at the beginning of this episode, or maybe not, when was this one coming out?
This one, we don't have a date for this one yet.
Never mind.
Yeah.
We're fine.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're actually being responsible. So I don't know when some of these come out, and then people are like, "Why did you promote a show that already happened?" Because we're actually being responsible.
Yeah.
I know it feels irresponsible, but it's because we're being responsible.
Yeah, we're gifted and talented education students. This is just a thought that I had when I move. I have this every time I move.
Yes.
So I like staying in the same place for a long time. Like 10 years was the 34th Street apartment, but I've moved 3 times in the last 4 years.
Ooh.
But one thing I notice, women, we're at a disadvantage economically because of how much fucking shit there is to buy for us.
I think about that a lot, yeah.
There's creams and lotions.
I think it's a conspiracy to keep us down financially.
I do too. By the 3rd time I'm moving, I'm like, what the
Yeah.
How what the
mm-hmm.
Hair, skin, we got a cream for every part of our bodies.
You don't need all those creams. If your skincare regimen is beyond 5 items, you're doing too much.
Yeah, it does seem that.
You don't need that.
Yeah, man, just like so many, and then these things expire. So I've had all these things that I hold on. I hate holding on to stuff. I love throwing it out. It's one of my favorite things in the world is throw it right in the trash.
Don't throw away as soon as it expires. You have at least 6 months on those products. Expiration dates are merely a suggestion, Krystyna, for food and for skin products. Don't throw it out right on. Are you crazy? You've been throwing it out right on the date?
Because I don't want to poison my skin. You're not on the date, but like a month.
First of all, you're never going to poison your skin.
I don't want to break it out. What I mean is I don't want anything to break out my skin.
It wouldn't do that. It just wouldn't work. It just wouldn't do the thing. It's not going to hurt your skin. It just wouldn't do the thing that's supposed to do.
Oh.
So like if it's a collagen cream, it's the same as like a protein powder, right?
Right.
So protein powder, as the expiration date passes, you're not hurting yourself. You're just getting less protein than it says on the label.
Oh.
Do not be throwing it out right on the date.
Guys, no one raised me, and I'm just trying to figure this out. I thought it was like, okay.
Well, I mean, I didn't learn this from my mom. I learned this from like an episode of Adam Ruins Everything, I believe.
Oh, I didn't watch that show. That's a great show, though.
But yeah, I mean, you can Google for different products. I mean, there are certain things like milk that actually do expire pretty much on the day. You can smell that.
Yeah.
Anything else, eggs, you can go way longer than it says. You can smell it. Most things you can smell.
But egg you can't smell.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
You smell bad egg?
Yeah. If you crack it open, you know if it's bad or not. You could go
groceries are so expensive.
You can go
I throw shit out
at
when it's
least a week beyond the expiration date on eggs.
The fuck?
And boxed items and canned items, I mean, a year. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
You can, I mean, most, yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah. Creams are just going to lose their potency. You're not going to hurt your skin.
Right.
Yeah, so that's just going to...
Jesus Christ.
But yeah, I mean, medicine, ibuprofen, anything... Advil.
Right, yeah. Jesus Christ. I just didn't know. I thought that... sometimes I go by the book and that's not at all what you should be doing.
No.
And the more I live, the more I realize when I was going by the book, I shouldn't have. And when I wasn't going by the book, I should have.
Yeah, no,
that's exhausting.
It's keep an eye out starting from here. That's how I read an expiration date.
Okay.
Keep your eyes peeled.
And your nose.
Yeah.
And your nose.
Yeah.
Okay.
Be on the lookout.
Right. Well, then there's something like I downsized, so I'm moving in with somebody, and none of my shit. Like I built a shelf. Oh, I love dude stuff. I love mowing lawns. Oh, I can't wait to have a lawn to mow one day. I fucking love yard work.
The smell is great.
Oh, it's
of a
great.
Freshly mowed lawn.
Oh my God, and weeding and gardening.
That's
and like
fun.
I want to build a table. I want a table saw.
Okay.
When I built the shelf, I was like, I want to fucking build other things. And I totally get why guys love building things. Everybody has a masculine and feminine side to them. I love when my masculine side comes out of me. That's why I love working on cars. That's been a fucking years since I've done that. But like, I love doing man stuff and feeling manly. It's so fun. And then I get to step into the girly things. But it's nice to not be surrounded by your stuff. I thought I was going to fucking hate that. And I love it because it's not distracting.
Oh, yeah, because there's nothing fun around because it's all Collins.
Yeah. Basically. I mean, he has fun stuff. He has good taste, but like, it's just, like, there's
his stuff.
I'm not, it's his stuff. I'm not interested in it. I'm not I'm not trying to I'm not curious about it. So, it's really, you get a lot done. And I forgot about this. I forgot I felt this way. I felt this way with Steven. When I moved, our relationship, Steven and I's relationship started off, there was just contention with the Stoya stuff, I remember. And I remember we did a photo shoot and he's like, be sexier. And I cried.
I was there for some of that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Literally you were in person. I'm so sorry we invited you over during Sandy. That was the worst. That must have been the worst night of your life.
There was a lot of tense photo and videography shoots with Steven.
Yeah, totally, 100%. Sorry, Corinne. I don't know if I've ever officially apologized for that, but that sounds terrible.
But also, I mean, notes to him, I don't think anyone's ever gotten sexier by having someone yell, be sexier at them.
Very true. Very true. And I wish I thought of that in the moment, but you think of the shit years later.
Be sexier. What?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm scared now.
But I forget, with my issues and stuff, your issues come out in relationships for a lot of people, not for everybody, but the safety thing, the feeling safe in this bond, I remember with Steven when we moved in together, I felt like I could relax and I could breathe for some reason. And I forgot I felt that way until I remembered when I moved in with him, with this relationship, with this current guy. Yeah, I should have said that.
This current guy.
Yes.
You've been with him for 5 years.
I know. I never want to glue myself to anything. You know what I mean? Anxious avoidant. I'm always ready to leave. No, but
As you just moved in.
I know. Whatever. I mean, if it's the right thing, it's the right thing. But I forgot how safe it feels to live with a person. There's a lot of downsides. That I'm sure I'll experience, just mainly if I want to freak out, I don't want anybody there for that. Right. But there is the safety that I totally forgot is something I feel, where you're oh wow, because it is a further level of commitment. Mm-hmm. I wasn't treating it that way. I was treating it as I'm broke and I want to be able to save money so I can buy a house. But I'm oh yeah, that's really nice. So it's been nice. It's been nice. How are you?
How many days has it been?
5. Well, I really expected to not like it. I didn't want to move in.
Well, that was
want
surprising because it feels like something that typically you would really want to do, and especially with this current guy because you really like.
I love the current guy. I love him most. Yes, but I also think that living by yourself is the most bliss. It's
You don't gotta tell me
It's
twice.
incredible.
Yeah.
I want this for every man, woman, and child.
Same.
Not child, you gotta have an adult. But
Right, yeah. Not kids. They should be living with someone.
every person, if you have never lived alone, you owe it to yourself to live alone. I've had the most fun living by myself.
I think even if like people sometimes like even if you can live in a tiny apartment by yourself, I think that's better than living in a gorgeous apartment with roommates.
I could not agree more.
Yeah.
I could not agree
There
more.
I've come across in life a handful of people who truly enjoy having a roommate.
Yeah.
And those people, I guess, shouldn't live alone, but everyone else.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, and,
Yes.
I know a couple of those people too. I'm like, oh, you're like communal.
Yeah.
That's great.
There's
That's
a couple
amazing.
communal people.
Yeah, I can't imagine. But it worked for you. But yeah, it's really live alone. But it's not, because when I don't like something, I really don't like it. I really don't like it. And when I love something, I really, really love it. And so I'm like, I'm surprised of like, this is kind of nice. It's like a nice little flow. And then how I wanted to get engaged so that I can do an alien retreat. I think I'm just going to host the alien retreat.
Yeah, I saw that when you posted the video from Voices in Our Heads, and everyone was like, no, you can just do that.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I'm not even nearly as into aliens as you are.
Sounds fun, right?
I would just go.
Yeah, right? All right, cool. I'll let you know. Because I talked to a lady, I interviewed her yesterday for Voices in Our Heads. She can communicate with aliens now.
Mm-hmm.
She had a lot of these other abilities, but this is one she got. And I was like, and she told me some shit. I'm like, oh my God, we should do a retreat. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do it.
Well, when we were at Skankfest and I didn't hear from you, I had assumed that you had driven
To Area 51?
to Area 51.
And
but you were actually
would've.
just sleeping because you had your period.
Yeah.
But I was like, because everyone was like, where Krystyna? I was like, she probably just drove it to Area 51 and doesn't
honestly,
have service right now.
I did look it up.
I was like, I'm not too worried about it.
I was
think
going to
she's
rent a
fine.
car, but then the period came and I was like, I'm not. I just need to sleep. But yeah, there's too many stories of like, you can get so close, but it's not on the maps. You kind of have to guess, and it's by a certain gas station. And there was too many up in the air things that I'm like, ugh. I'd rather intentionally go to Sedona, meditate where people have historically conjured aliens and do that.
I noticed that you also updated your Instagram bio to invite the aliens in.
Yeah.
I said, wow.
Yeah. I don't know. There's some. So I told Carla this yesterday when I interviewed her. I was like, I don't know if you've ever had an interest where it's very fiery and passionate for you, and you kind of don't know why. You're like, this is fucking random.
I mean, not random, but I mean, when I stopped my life to run a Spice Girls newsletter for 5 years, I would say was a bit of a commitment.
I get that though.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the alien thing, like it's interesting, but I'm telling you, I feel like this is gonna sound psychotic. I feel a closeness with them, and I don't know.
I don't
why.
think that sounds psychotic. I mean, that's how I feel. I guess it's a little bit more like basic bitch, but that's how I feel with dogs.
Right. Yes,
You know?
you have a special kind of thing.
Yeah, no,
with them and for them.
I literally feel like that we're connected in a. I used to tell everyone that I was a dog in a past life.
Yeah, I mean, dogs do connect with you like on the street very randomly, very intensely.
I just really feel connected to them, and sometimes I take mushrooms and cry in a dog bed.
Yeah, I remember that. Like, he's not having fun here. He needs to go. I've never seen so many tears. It was like you dipped your face in olive oil. That's how many tears you had.
My favorite thing is is to look at your face when you after you did mushrooms or acid, and then to look at you look. I mean, every time I've looked at myself in the mirror, it looks like a pile of garbage.
Yes.
Like if garbage was a person.
It's like you took extra expired makeup and put it on.
Yep.
It's wild.
I mean, I look and sometimes even like it's like craters and just it looks like you've aged 15 years.
Yes!
Like if you got a chemical peel, but it had the reverse effect. It made you look 10 years older instead of 10 years younger. But you feel light as a feather.
Not stiff as a board.
You feel light as a feather, my friend.
Yeah. Mushrooms are the shit.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah, no, I attempted to do drugs twice at Skankfest. I'm going to give a thumbs. This is the first time I've tried.
When I did the jam, were you on them or no?
What day?
You seemed like
Saturday.
You seemed like
no, I wasn't on
something.
I wasn't on. No, I think I was just having a good time. I think I was just genuinely happy. Krystyna hadn't witnessed that in a while. I think I was just.
I swore I was going to ask you what drug you took. Cause
you know what? Okay, so I'm trying to go through the days because I did.
It's the night you saw.
Wait, what?
It's the night you saw Garth.
You know what? Yeah, I wasn't on drugs because I didn't want to be on drugs to see Garth Brooks, and it's too much money to be on drugs.
Yeah,
and I genuinely, it was genuinely one of the best concerts I've ever been to. It was
pre-rape,
pre-SA accusation, I just had a really good time. I think I also felt lighter because I had escaped from Skankfest for a couple hours, and Skankfest is just like it's a wonderful festival, but not if you've had sex with half the comics there. It was just it's just too overwhelming for me to be around so many people. And exes are there. And it was just I had a lot of anxiety going into it.
Yeah.
And then honestly, I had anxiety over nothing and everything was fine. And I was so happy to be with the person that I was with, and we were having a lovely time, and he was being so nice. And
you weren't on drugs. You're just happy.
I wasn't. Yeah. No.
I had a great Skankfest this year. This was absolutely my favorite one. I spent most of the time in my hotel room though. That's why.
Yeah.
That way when I went to the venue. It's a
beautiful hotel room.
So nice.
I love that hotel.
But when I went to the venue, I was connecting with people and having great conversations and having meaningful moments with people as they came about. And then I would go back to my room and I'm like, oh, that's the trick. You have to protect your energy.
Yeah. Well, I kind of had someone with me who was basically his job to protect my energy. But I find it, no one was being mean. Everyone was nice. I just get overwhelmed, and also I'm really bad in heat. It's just too hot for me in Las Vegas.
So fucking hot.
104 degrees is not an acceptable temperature.
No, it was fucking rude. I was mad. That's how hot it was.
Yeah, but I just lean into my favorite part of Skankfest, which is just treating it like a fashion show, because that's one of my least favorite parts of comedy, or one of my only parts of comedy that I don't like, is that I don't get to dress the way I really want to dress because it interferes with the actual art form.
Yeah.
You just can't dress like a 2-cent whore, which is how I really feel my best self.
Yeah.
And so I get to do that at Skankfest, and so that's what I look forward to. And I just always treat it like a music festival dressing.
Yeah, that
was fun.
Gotta make it fun for you.
Yeah, no, I did drugs twice. I flippantly ate a CBD gummy because they never do anything.
CBD?
Like a CBD and THC gummy.
Okay.
Sorry, one of the ones that was in our swag bag.
Yeah.
I really did it. I challenged the gummy in my head, and it was only 10 milligrams, and the gummy challenged me back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was sitting in my bed, and I was uploading an episode of Guys We Fought because we never stopped working.
Nope.
And all of a sudden, I started looking. I told the story on the Skankfest episode, but I started looking at the YouTube, and I was like, that's Corinne Fisher, but you're Corinne Fisher. And then I fucking knew we were really, I knew that was going to be a bad rest of your...
As a person who loves weed,
yeah,
fuck edibles.
Well, I've only had one other edible that ever worked on me, and that was
San Diego.
Yeah, that was... Well, it was in Palo Alto when we were at my brother's house.
We separately thought we were dying.
And I cleansed my body because I wanted them to find a clean corpse in the morning.
Yeah. And I just sat there and cried.
Yeah.
And hoped someone would come in and read my mind.
Yeah, and then when I made it... What the fuck was that? Because it was a bagged cookie.
I remember, it was a cookie. It was packaged.
Yeah, it was sealed.
It was from a dispensary.
Exactly.
But I'd never eaten an edible before, I don't think.
Yeah.
So I didn't know what the grams were. I had no idea. Yeah. And then but I didn't tell you about that in your brother's house. And then I took a bite before we went to the airport, and...
Oh, yeah. It was so bad.
It's not good.
Yeah.
There was 7 children in wheelchairs all staring at me. And I'm like, how is that now?
They were telling Krystyna a secret.
How the fuck? You never see 7 children in wheelchairs at an airport.
Yeah.
And I took an edible, and there were 7 children in wheelchairs.
Yeah, you never even see 7 people in a wheelchair.
I know.
I except for Skankfest.
Yeah. 100%.
And then on my birthday, I decided to try mushrooms again, because I haven't done any drugs since my dad died, and I thought it had been a long enough time, and I was with someone who I trusted who's good at drugs, and so those kind of drugs, he's not like snorting coke, so he gave me put a piece of mushroom chocolate in my hand, and I said, this is way too big. And he said, this is tiny. I said, no, we're going to need to cut this in 3s.
Yeah.
And so I took literally 1 square of it. And then That one was less bad than the gummy, but it still was not the effect that I like from mushrooms, because I've basically only had like really like hysterical fits of laughter from mushrooms, except for the Tool concert when I had like I went deep, but even that wasn't bad.
Your birthday, remember we went to the hotel on your birthday, me, you, and Tommy? That was so
in the Catskills. In the Catskills. Yeah.
We were laughing so hard.
That one was really fun, but yeah, this just still was not giving me the effect. I think I like eating raw mushrooms better than in the chocolates. Sometimes in the chocolate it's too intense.
Yeah.
And then so I kind of just found a safe space in the Skankfest green room, and I sat next to Justin Silver and another person, and then
he was sober, so that's a good.
But I mean, I was like glued to that couch for like 3 hours, and then I finally decided that I should make a reservation at a steakhouse because it was my birthday and I hadn't eaten it in like a really long time.
Yeah.
And then I came down from it, but it was
so it didn't last all.
No, but there was a while when I was like, I just can't move from this couch right now because I can't interact with. It was one of those ones where if anyone who I didn't really like or know tries to interact with me, that I was going to have to give them a preamble where I was like, "Hi, I'm on mushrooms right now and I can't talk to you because I don't know you that well."
Yeah.
Which I just kind of say.
Yeah.
I kind of just say the thing. Like I remember when I was at Lollapalooza and I was rolling on Molly, and anyone came up to me, I kind of just said, "I'm so happy to meet you, but I'm on Molly right now and I can't continue this conversation," and then I would walk away.
Yeah, because Molly, you want. Oh my God! Don't fuck with me on Molly.
Well, because when you want, it's like you're on the ride, but if someone kills the vibe, you can fall off the ride and then get pissed.
Yeah.
It was Eric's first Skankfest. How was your Skankfest, Eric?
I had a good time. Aside from the first day, I had some jaw problems and
right. Fucking Eric had another medical issue.
It's still not fixed. I still can't open my mouth all the way. But
what happened to your jaw, Eric?
I was just sitting at a movie a few weeks ago and it popped out of place.
Sick.
And I haven't been able to open my mouth all the way since then.
Like Jewisher and Jewishist in the studio room.
My stomach, my hair, my eyes.
Doesn't line up. I was about to bring up the
Happy Rosh Hashanah, motherfuckers.
Oh my God.
I was gonna ask, when you take mushrooms, does it feel like far more emotional? I feel like it's such an emotional.
It can be,
drug.
yeah.
For me, it's like laughing gas usually.
Yeah, it's that too, but I think life is so beautiful. Like I'll cheer up over.
That's me on Molly.
Yeah.
Mushrooms to me, I just can't stop laughing. I'm like doing voices. Like there's
laughing on mushrooms is the fucking best.
Yeah, I just like everything is like I'm like a toddler. I think like the way my feet move is amazing.
I think you would love ketamine if you like Interwell and stuff. The one that I do,
famous last words. I think you would love ketamine.
I know. Well, it's so gentle.
Well, I wanted to do ketamine at the Skankfest because my anxiety was. I really wanted a Valium, but again, these are drugs I've never taken.
That's anti-anxiety.
Yeah, it's just. But I was like, we can't start. I didn't want to start, after such a long break from drugs. I didn't want to start by doing something I had never done before, especially in a hot climate, and especially with like around a group of people where I didn't trust any of the medical people who are around. It was like they just put a green shirt on a mutant, and then they were like, "Oh, they'll help you."
Colum Terrell was like, "Oh, I just did a show, and everybody put stuff in my hat. It was just all these pills, like loose pills." I'm like, "Dude, no, don't do those pills."
Absolutely.
Yes, you could look them up, but you don't know if they're laced.
I had so much Narcan on me.
I know.
And a guy, I had gone to Target in Salt Lake City to get Narcan. I purchased it from the pharmacy ahead of time because it's much easier to get in Salt Lake City than it is in Las Vegas. I had Googled this, I looked into it, and then there was a group actually on Fremont Street walking around handing out Narcan, and I took two. Everyone was passing it by. I said, "Oh, I'm excited to get this." I'm Narcaned up.
Yeah.
And I don't even do any drugs that one would need Narcan
Which
for.
ones do they need? Heroin?
No, it's mostly for coke
fentanyl?
if you have fentanyl. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I guess fentanyl could sometimes be in Molly too.
Oh,
but
really?
I mean, I think it's most commonly in cocaine. So I get very nervous. I'm always loaded up with Narcan.
Especially after that one comic died in LA. Fucking Jesus Christ.
Yeah, a couple comics.
So
died
happy
in
I
LA.
hate cocaine. Oh, I fucking hate
Well,
cocaine.
and I was standing like near the ring at Skankfest, and a person not associated with Skankfest walked by, and he fell and he hit his head on a really hard piece of metal that was holding a pole. And I mean, the way I had my Narcan present, and then the mutant goes, "No, he hit his head," and I go, "I saw the whole thing," but I was like, "I think he hit his head because he's on drugs.
Right,
you don't just fall down and hit your head." I was like, "Yes, I understand what just happened." I was like, "I understand what happened right now, but I think what caused that could need Narcan.
Yeah. That's wise, and I would bet a lot of money on that.
Oh
that
God! And I was like freaking out.
Jesus, yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean,
I just get so much anxiety about like just because like it's like if there is a tool that's like
super easy way to
easily
save a life.
accessible to most people, we should all have it on us.
Yeah.
In a time like this, I also kind of just have PTSD from comics dying all the time.
Yeah, and people for you.
Yeah, so I'm just kind of like to be ready.
Prepared.
Everyone was like, I was like giving it out to other people who were with me. I was like, you need one, and you need one, and you need.
Yeah, we all need to be armed.
Yeah,
with the Narcan. Yeah,
I was like reading the instructions because I was like, now I have it, but do I know how to administer it?
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of people that had no soul behind their eyes in that ring on Skankfest.
Yeah.
Like when by the time we got to the goddamn comedy jam, I'm like, ugh. Like I don't like that.
Yeah,
I don't like that.
Yeah,
cocaine sucks.
Hopefully everyone's okay.
Yeah, you know who's really okay?
Today's guests.
Goddamn right.
Yeah,
they're safe. They're funny. They got it all.
Yeah.
One of them is a stand-up comedian with a Netflix special called Big Guy that if you have not watched it yet,
so funny.
You have to fucking watch it. She's one of my favorite comedians in the world. The other one runs into burning buildings for money. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a very warm welcome to Rachel
Feinstein and Pete Brennan.